Hello, my wonderful students. Very good morning to everyone. So, today we are going to see part 4 video. Part 4 video of class 4 mathematics, chapter number 1, shapes around us. Okay, so we already completed page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 in part 1, 2 and 3 videos. Those who missed to watch that video, please watch that video. Then only you can able to understand the concept. Okay. In part 3 video, it got suddenly stuck and cut off. So we missed to do this part. Okay. So this part I am going to explain again. So this one we can able to fold it over and make this shape. So we can able to fold it easily. And this one there is no opposite shapes, so we cannot able to fold. This one, yes, we do have a round face cylinder, and if we make, you will get a cylinder fold. If you fold it, you will get a cylinder shape. And this one we cannot able to make a cuboid because we do not have an opposite fold here. So only B and D is the correct answer. So next one, Nitesh cuts up a net on the folds, and here it is pieces. So we have a shape with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we already saw a shape in 3D. We'll go back to that shape. So here we have pentagonal pyramid 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So pentagonal pyramid we have. So we need to find a 3D shape here. Okay. So how many triangles we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So we have 5 triangles here so that we can fix it like this. This is a net of this figure. This is the net of this figure. So let's see. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So let's see the shape. So we have, this is only 4, so this is not the 1. So again this is triangular shape, this is also not the 1. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, no, this is not the 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we are getting 5 at the bottom, and triangles we see, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this one is the correct answer. Okay. So what shape we are getting? We are getting this exact 3D shape with this pentagonal pyramid. Alright. Okay. Now we will start the part 4 video. When line meets. So when line meets. So for example, if we have lines here, here one line and here one line. These lines are separate lines, it's not getting connected with each other. But when two lines meet each other, for example, this one line and this one line. So if you see this point, these two lines, first line and second line, these two are meeting at this point. So that is called as when lines meet. So Isha made different corners with straws. So Isha, she is making different corners with straw. So this place is called as a corner and she is making using a straw. We can say that two straws are like two lines that meet at a point. So like this, a straw, they are mentioning it is like a line. Two lines that meet at a point. Where it is meeting? It is meeting at this point. And these two straw meeting at this point. And these two straw meeting at this point. So when two lines meet, they create an angle. So when two lines meet, they create an angle. So this place is called as an angle. So here. So these two lines meet at this point. So this point is called as an angle. Like this is called as an angle. So this is called as an angle. So we will see different types of angle in our upcoming chapters. So we have right angle, we have straight angle, we have obtuse angle, we have obtuse angle. So those angles we will see in our upcoming chapters. But here we will see what is an angle first. Okay, so this question is very important in this chapter. In 1 mark they will ask you, in fill in the blanks they will ask you, they will create question like this: when two angle meets they create dash. So you have to write angle. Okay, so we see many angles in yoga posters. So look at the image 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So there are many yoga poses here. Okay, see, we will see angles. Okay, so the first picture, I'll zoom it out so that we can able to see it clearly. Okay, okay, so in the first picture, so we can able to see the angle here. This is the angle. Okay, very important, when you mark an angle, the lines always should be straight. It should be a straight line, not a curved line like this. Okay, it should not be curved and another line to be straight, and there should be no curves. Okay, this is wrong. Only straight angles, straight lines will make an angle. Okay, here we have an angle and here there is a curve, so here there is no angle. In the next posture again, see, we have straight line, and do you see an angle? It is like a little bit of curve. So this place makes an angle. Again here the straight, here we have one angle, and here we have one angle, and here we have one angle. And fifth picture, here we have one angle. Okay, this is also important question, students. They will ask you, they will give pictures and they will ask you to show the number of angles in a picture. Okay, like this. There are 7 angles in this house drawing. Okay, let's count and see whether we have 7 angles. So this one is the first angle, and this one is the second angle, third angle, fourth angle, fifth angle, sixth angle, and seventh one. So we have 7 angles, so it is correct. Next, how many angles are there in this board drawing? So here we have a board drawing. So now we will count. So this one is the first one, second one, this one is the third one, and we have fourth one, fifth one, here we have one, sixth one, this one is 7, 8, 9, 10. So how many angles we have? We have totally 10 angles in this board drawing. Like this only I said, students, in exam they will give you any picture and they will ask us to mark the angles, and they will ask you to count the number of angles also. So this will come in 2-mark question. Okay, and this question I said, right, when two lines meet each other they create angle. So this you will get in 1-mark question. Okay, so these two are important questions. Alright, let's see the next one. Mark the angle in the following picture. So here we have given with a scissor, and we have given with a dress hanger and a finger which showing a victory point. So scissor, we have an angle here. So we have one angle, and here hanger we have 1, 2, 3. So anchor we have 3 angles, and victory symbol we have 1 angle. And again we have a seesaw and we have a slider. In seesaw we have angle here, we have angle here. So how many angles? We have 2 angles. And seesaw, let's see, we have angle here and here and opposite angle. So where else we see an angle? So here on the top, here and here. So that is not clearly visible. So I'll zoom it and show you, okay? Okay, I'll erase this one out. Okay, I'll draw it again. One minute, student. Okay, now I will draw. So we have one angle here and another one here, another one here, and in top also we can able to see an angle here, here. So where else? Here there is a slight bend, so we cannot able to make an angle here. So where else? So we totally have 4 angles. Okay. Let's see whether you can able to find few more angles, students. If you find few more angles, it is well and good. Okay. So next. So next we have, where do you see angles in classroom? Give few examples. So where do you see angles in your classroom? So for example, in your notebook. So this is your notebook. So the corners of your notebook, see, we have angles here. So when two straight lines meet each other, we will get an angle. That is the concept. So we will see in our notebook, you can write notebooks. Books and clock also. In clock we have the minutes needle and the hour needle. So this is a clock here. The two needles meet each other, we will get an angle. So clock and where else? In window. So this is the window. Window. Here we'll get many angles. Here 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll have in windows, doors, school doors, then you will have in your eraser, you can able to see where else? Okay, in many things and items that you can able to see in your classroom. So I have written few notebooks, books, clocks, windows, doors, etc. But we can able to find in many objects, things. Okay, so next one, right angles. Let us make an right angle with a piece of paper as shown. So first I'll tell you what is a right angle. So right angle is an angle with straight lines. So this one is a straight line, standing line and sleeping line. Do you remember, right? We studied in our class 1, 2 and 3. So standing lines and sleeping lines. So when standing lines and sleeping lines intersect each other, you will get a straight angle. So this is a straight angle. Okay, I'll show with a different color and thickness. Okay, so this one, if you see, this is a sleeping line and this one is not a straight line. So this angle is not a right angle. But when you see this angle from this direction, if you see this angle from this direction, so this is a straight sleeping line and this one is a standing line. So this makes a straight angle, which is also called as a right angle. So this one is also called as a right angle. So this one is a sleeping line and this one is a straight line, a standing line. Okay, now look at this picture. So we have a picture and they are folding this picture. They have dots here. They have given one straight line and this one is the standing line and this one is the straight line. They folded this one. Okay, and they have made another fold this side. So in center we are getting 4 lines. So we have angles here, one straight angle, another straight angle, here one, here one. So we are getting 4 straight angles. Okay. So this question is also important, students. They'll give you a few pictures and they will ask you to mark the straight angles, or they will ask you to draw one straight angle. So you can draw this one. This is also straight angle. So this is also a straight angle. So the angle depends from which position you are seeing that angle. So like this I draw here, right? A person is watching from here. This becomes a straight angle. But when you see the video directly, this will not look like a straight angle. So it depends upon the position where you are seeing that angle. Okay. Okay. Next we will see. Identify the angles that you think are right angles and circle them in the dot given below. Check using the right angle checker. So here we are given with few angles when we need to circle the angle which is right angle. So let's see the first image. I am going to change the color back to red. So here we have a straight line and a person is looking from here. Person is looking from here. So this is the straight line for him, and this one is not a straight line. This is slanting line. So this is not a right angle. Again, this person moves here. So this person moves here. He is watching. So here he can able to see a straight angle, and here he can able to see a straight line. So this one is straight line and this one is also straight line. So this one is a standing line and this one is a sleeping line. So both is joining together, you will get an angle. So this one is a right angle and also the lines are straight. So we will circle this picture. Okay. Again he is moving to this angle. He is watching from this position. So he is seeing from here. So this line again, slanting line. This is another slanting line. So this line is also straight and this line is also straight. Sleeping line and standing line intersect to each other. From this angle, you can able to see both lines are straight. So this one is also a right angle. I am going to circle this one. And again he is moving here. Let's erase this. Okay, he is moving here. Let's draw here. So from here to here we can able to see a straight sleeping line. But this line is not straight. So this line is not straight. So let's see in another position also. He is going here. So he is watching from this angle. So this line is straight. Again this line is not straight. So this is also not the right angle. Okay, so we will see the next one. He is watching from this position. Okay, we have one straight sleeping line and one straight standing line. Again, we got another right angle. So this one is obviously not the right angle because the lines are not straight. Again this one, the lines are not straight. This one we have a straight line. Let's see the position. You'll see from here this position. Yes, we have a straight line, a sleeping line and a standing line. So this is a right angle. This one is the right angle. We will circle this. So how many right angles we got in total? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 right angle. This one is also important question, students. So next one, check for right angles in a book, window and any other object. Write the name of the object. Where do you find right angles? For example, if we have a book, okay, I will draw a book here. So imagine this one is your book. Okay, so here we have a right angle which is straight, and this corner also right angle, this corner is right angle, book. Okay, so we get in book. Window, again I show a window here, right? So if we see the window, we have right angles here. And in clock, this angle is not a right angle. So when can we see a right angle in a clock? So this is a clock. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So right angle, the lines should be straight. So we can able to see at 3 o'clock. Again we can able to see at 9 o'clock also. And what else? I'll rub and show you few more. Where else we can able to see? Here? No. So we can able to see at 3 o'clock and we can able to see at 9 o'clock. Okay. Right angles. So book, window and any other object we can able to see. You can write clock. So you can write clock, C-L-O-C-K, and door, and you can able to see in table. So if you have a table, the corners, so imagine that this is your classroom table. So you can able to see in this corners the right angle, the line, the straight line and the standing line. Again straight line and standing line, the corners. So table, you can see in chair also. So I put etc. You can able to fill this out. Okay, clock, door, table, chair, etc. So next one, let us do. Draw some right angles on the dotted line. So we are asking to draw some right angles. So I'll draw a few right angles. It should be straight. Okay, so when you use your pencils, do it neatly or always use a scale to draw it. So you will get a neat angle. Okay, next one, we will do a reverse angle. This one, again, a right angle. Okay. This one. Again, when you look from here, so when you are looking from here, this one is a right angle. Don't draw the same image I am doing it, students. Do by yourself, do it. by yourself, try by yourself, okay? Next one, acute and obtuse angle. So acute angle are less than right angle and obtuse angle are more than right angle. Students, this one is important question for your exam. Acute angle and obtuse angle. We will see the degrees of the angle in upcoming chapter. First we will learn what is acute angle and what is obtuse angle. So acute angle are less than right angle. So we already know what is a right angle. So right angle is this, the straight angle. So this one is a right angle. Here they have given, see, right angle. So this is a right angle. So acute angle are less than right angle. So this angle is lesser. So when it goes beyond, it will become a right angle. So this angle is less than right angle. So this angle is called as an acute angle. So obtuse angle are more than right angle. So here we have right angle. So this is more than a right angle. So the angle goes more. So it is called as an obtuse angle. So I will show you few example. So this one. So the straight line. Here we have 90 degree. We will see it later how we are getting those degree. But this is a straight line, sleeping line and a straight line joined together. You will get a right angle. But when you see this line, this angle, this full angle, I'll change in a different color. So this angle, it's more than a right angle. So this is a right angle, but this is more than a right angle. This angle is called as an obtuse angle. O-B-T-U-S-E. Obtuse angle. Okay. So I'll show you another example. So this one is a right angle. So this angle is right angle. But I'm drawing another angle here in between, which is less than. So this is less than. When it goes here, it is more than. When it goes here, it is less than. So this angle is called as an acute angle. So angle which are less than a right angle is called acute angle, and angle which is more than a right angle is called as an obtuse angle. Okay. So now name some object from your classroom which have an angle acute. So name some object from your classroom which have acute angle, and name some object from your classroom which has obtuse angle. Identify the angle in the following letter. Okay. So let's write few examples and I'll show you how it comes as an acute or an obtuse. Okay. First we will see object in our classroom which have an acute angle. So acute angle, we have few more examples, but I'm going to write one or two or three examples maybe. So in clock, we have a clock in our classroom. For example, if the clock hits 3:10 p.m. So 3:10 p.m. 3:10 p.m. If you see, this angle is less than, so 3 o'clock we will get right angle. So 3 o'clock we will get right angle, but when the clock hits 3:10, it becomes the angle acute, which is lesser than a right angle. So you can write clock at 3:10 p.m. And what else? You can write 2 o'clock also. So 2, this one. So 2 o'clock and straight line. This also becomes an acute angle. So next we have scissors. We have a scissor shown in one picture, this one. So you see this angle is less than a straight angle. So this one is a straight angle. We'll use different colors. So this one we have a straight angle, but scissor is like this. So like this, it is an acute angle. So you can write scissor. Scissors. Next we have two fingers. We have image with two fingers. See here. So image with two fingers. This is not a straight angle, which is also less than a right angle. So you can write two fingers. You can also write opened door. If your classroom door is opened slightly, there you can able to see a acute angle. When the door is closed, then it will be straight angle. But if a door is slightly open, we can able to see create a small angle over there, which is obviously less than a right angle. That becomes an acute angle. Okay. So next we have many example students. You can able to collect many examples from your friends, your classrooms, your classmates, your friends, and your teacher also will give you a few more examples in your classroom. Okay. So next one, name some object from your classroom which have an obtuse angle which is greater than a right angle. So let's see few examples for obtuse angle in our classroom. Okay, I'm going to draw an open box here. For example, your pencil box or your geometry box. If your box is open, you can able to see an angle there. So this box, maybe your box is open. So this you can able to see an acute angle. This is an acute angle, and I'll show an obtuse angle. Okay, so this box is slightly open, but if you open the box wider like this fully, so this is a straight angle. So this one is a right angle, and if the box is slightly open, it's an acute angle. But if you open the box little more wider, you have an angle here, so which is greater than a right angle. So this angle is called as an obtuse angle. So open the box. And clock at 4 o'clock. So we have a clock here. I'll erase this one. So clock at 4 o'clock. So we have 3 here. So we have 4. So the needle pointing out here. So here the needle is going to point it out. So when you see the angle, so this is the straight angle. So this is a greater one. So this one is called as an acute angle, and this angle is called as an obtuse angle. So clock 4 p.m., 4 a.m. or 4 p.m. all same when you see the angles. Next you can able to get in compass in your geometry box, and stairs, school stairs, upside and downside and stairs, etc. You can able to see in many things. Okay. So next one, identify all angles in the following letter. So we have to identify all the angles. So here we have the first one. So if you draw a line here, so this makes a straight angle. So this one is a right angle. So this one is lesser than right angle. So this is called as an acute angle. Okay. And this one, again you have a straight. So it is this portion. This portion is like this. It is like this. So it is like this. So if you draw a line here, it makes you a straight angle. So this one straight angle, but this is more than a straight angle. So here this part is lesser part and this part is more. So this angle is called as an obtuse angle. Obtuse angle. So here again we have a straight. So this one, if you draw a line here, this becomes straight, and this one is a lesser part and this one is more part. Less part is here we have an angle. So this is called as an acute angle. So acute angle. So if you have a line here, so this place is an obtuse angle. So very important question, students. They will give you different intersecting lines and they will ask you to mark the obtuse and acute angle and right angle as well. Okay, next one. So let us draw some acute angle on the top grid. Draw a line to make an acute angle using given line in the bottom grid. Okay. So now they are asking to draw an acute angle. So we will draw some acute angle. First we will draw a straight line. And acute angles are always less than a right angle. So we will draw here. It's an acute angle. Okay. And we draw one more angle here, a smaller one. So this one is also an acute angle. Okay, here. So if you draw a line here, this one. So when you see from this place. So when you are seeing from this place. So this one, when you are seeing, so this one is an acute angle. Okay. And again, this one, we can draw a line. Let me erase this one. Here. Again, this one is an acute angle. Okay, so this one is a straight line. So straight line, if you draw, I'll change a different color, students, for straight lines. So this one is a straight line. So it's lesser than the straight line. This side is greater. So lesser becomes an acute angle. Again, this one is the straight line. This is lesser than the straight line. So here we have acute, and if you have angle in this side, this will become obtuse. Again, this side is obtuse. Okay, next, draw some obtuse angle on the top grid. Draw a line to make an obtuse angle using each given line in the bottom. Again, the same. I'm going to draw one obtuse angle for you. First, I'll draw a straight angle, which is the right angle, in blue color, and obtuse angle in red color. Okay, so this angle, this one is the straight angle, students. So what is an obtuse angle? More than a straight angle. So if I draw an angle here, so this angle is called as an obtuse angle. Okay, understand very carefully. And when you draw an angle here, which is lesser than a right angle, that becomes an acute angle. So obtuse is more and obtuse is less than right angle. So next we will draw here an obtuse angle. I can use this one. So this is an obtuse angle. Straight line I'll always draw in blue. So this one is a straight angle. So this one is a straight angle. So this is more than a straight angle, which is obtuse. And again, this one, if you draw a line here, this is a straight angle. This is a straight angle. I'm drawing in blue, straight. And for obtuse, I'm going to again draw in red. So if you have an angle here, here, so this is called as an obtuse angle. So when you draw a line here, which will make you an obtuse angle. Okay, this one is acute angle. Okay, we'll see the next one. Okay, in the figures given below, mark the acute angle in red, an angle in green, right angle in green, and obtuse angle in blue. First we will mark acute angle, which is in red color. Okay. Okay, I'm going to mark all the acute angles in red color. Students, what is an acute angle? Acute angle is less than a right angle. Okay. So here we have one acute angle. And here we have one acute angle. And this picture we have two acute angles here. So when you look at this picture, it is like this. So this picture is like this. It is obviously less than a right angle. So this one is a right angle. This one is an acute angle. So I've marked. And this picture we have here and here. And this picture we have here. And this picture we have here. Okay. Let's see the next one. Right angle in green. So we will mark all the right angles in green color. Okay. So we have right angles. Right angles should be the straight lines. Straight, slanting and sleeping line. So we have here one straight line. And here we have this one, the straight line. And here we do not have any straight lines. Here we have straight lines. Straight lines. Okay. So next we have obtuse angle, which is greater than a straight angle. So here this one, it's an obtuse angle. So this is a right angle. So this one is greater than a right angle. So this is an obtuse angle. Again this one we have obtuse angle. And here we have two obtuse angle. This one, this one. These two are obtuse angle. And here this place, greater one. So this one, this one. Okay, these are obtuse angle. So again I'm telling students, right angle is a straight lines. Straight lines. Slanting lines and sleeping lines, straight lines. It depends from where you see those angles. So the lines should be straight. And acute angle are less than a straight angle. So this angle is acute angle, which is less than a straight angle. And obtuse angle is this one. This one is obtuse angle, which is more than a straight angle. Sorry, the right angle. Okay, this concept you need to understand. Okay, very important, and this question is very, very important. Acute angle, obtuse angle and right angle. You will get in 5-mark question and 3-mark question as well. Okay. So next one, shape with straws. So they are making shapes with straws. Make a triangle with straw with different size and clay plasticine. So see this girl, she is making a triangle shape using say clay. So this one is straw and she is having clays and plasticine as well. Does the shape of a triangle change if we gently push one of the sides? For example, if she is making a triangle. So this one is a triangle. And if we take any one of the straw, for example, if we are pulling out the straw, and you will get this image, this one. So does this make a shape of a triangle? No, it does not make a shape of a triangle, because triangle we need to join all the three edges. So 1, 2, 3, it should be joined. If you see this picture, so we have this one, and another is here, it is like hidden. So obviously the answer is no. Does the shape of the triangle changes if we gently push one of these slide? Yes, the shape will obviously change. Okay. Next one, trace the triangles you made with a straw in your notebook. So you have to trace the triangle. This is your class project. What kind of angle does the triangle have? For example, if you are having a triangle here and you're taking this one out, if you're removing this one out, you will see this shape. This is what angle? This angle is acute angle. This angle is an acute angle. You can able to see this one, a right angle, but this one is lesser than a right angle. So this is an acute angle. Okay, so what kind of angle does a triangle have? You can write the angle is acute angle. So let's see if we have a different triangle. I'll draw it here. Okay, so now you have a triangle in this shape. You're making a straw triangle in this shape. Okay, and you're removing this one, this straw out. You're removing this straw out. So what shape you will get? You'll get this shape. So you get this shape, angles. And what angle is this? I'll draw a straight line to show you a straight angle. So this one is a line which is straight. So this one is a right angle. And this angle is more than a right angle. This one is more than a right angle now. This is a right angle. So more than a right angle is called as what? It is an obtuse angle. So you will get an obtuse angle here. Okay, likewise you can make different shapes of triangles and try removing one straw and see what type of angles you are getting. Okay, so first we got here an acute angle and here we got a right angle. So likewise you can able to see whether you are getting right angle, you are getting acute angle, or you are getting obtuse angle. So next one, make a triangular shape with straw and clay. So here, what kind of angle do you see in rectangle? So here we are making a rectangle using a clay to join the edges and straw to make a rectangle. So what type of angle do we get? So here we can able to see straight, the lines are straight. So what angle is this? This one. So this angle is a right angle. Very easy question, right? So this one is a right angle. So this one is a right angle. So does the shape of a rectangle changes if we gently push one of its sides? For example, so if you're trying to push this side and we are trying to push this side, see the shapes changes. So this is a different shape. Okay, I want you to email what shape is this. We already studied this shape in class 2 and 3. Students, tell me what shape is this. Okay, does the shape of the triangle changes? Yes, it does change to a different shape now. The shape is not a rectangle. Okay, so what happened to the angle of new shape? So what happened to the angle of new shape? Does it change? Yes, it changed, because here I'll show a dotted line. So this one is a right angle. So we gently pushed it. Now this one is lesser than a right angle. So this one is lesser than a right angle. So this becomes an acute angle. They are still right angles? No. So they are not a right angle. So what angle is that now? It is an acute angle. Okay. And also it becomes here. Here if you see, I'll draw a straight line here. So this part, here we have, what happens? We have straight lines here. This angle is greater now. It is more. So this place will become as an obtuse angle. So this one is an obtuse angle. So no acute and obtuse. Okay, I'll erase and I'll zoom and show you students so that be easily identified. Okay, so this chapter is very important student. That's why I'm explaining you everything in detail. Okay, those who have not subscribed, kindly subscribe and watch it. And if you want a worksheet, you have to join the channel to get the worksheet. Okay, this one I'll draw you in blue color, the acute angle. So this one is the straight line, which is the right angle here, this one. Okay, here this one is now lesser than the right angle. So this one is less than the right angle. So this one is acute angle. Okay, wait. I'll change the pencil a little bit thinner. Okay, so now I'll write it. So this one is an acute angle, and obtuse angle I'll draw in orange. So so this angle now, this one. So we have straight line here. So we have straight line here. So this angle now more than a right angle. So this side is less, this side is more now. So this angle is called as an obtuse angle. Okay, I'll zoom this out back to the same size. Okay, so very easy students. The next one, similarly push one side of the square. You have to similarly push one side of the square. For example, this is the square shape. So we have square here. All sides are equal. Again you will get right angles. You will get right angles, and you simply push the square, you will get this shapes. If you slightly move the square, again here you will get acute angle, and this you will get obtuse angle. You have to write the answer. Are the angles are still are they still right angles? No, this one is the right angle. This one, all these edges are right angle. So the answer is no. Are they still same? No, it is not. So what type of angle it is formed? So we have again acute angle and obtuse angle. So if your teacher asks you to write in board and show you how to explain, so easily you can able to do it. Okay. So next one, how are the angles of triangles and rectangles similar or different? So angles of rectangles. So angles of rectangles here. Angles of rectangles are straight lines. So it is a right angle. So it is a right angle. So angle of a triangle. So here angle of a triangle. So here we have a different angle, and here we have an acute angle, here we have a different angle. So it is not same as a right angle, but when you look at this position, so I'll draw and show you. I'll zoom and show you students. I will erase this. I'll draw a bigger one. Okay, first we will do for rectangle. So I'll draw here. Okay, for example, we have a rectangle here. Okay, I'm going to draw a rectangle. So we saw a rectangle, all the edges. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 angles, 1, 2, 3 and 4 all are right angles. So we have 4 angles and all 4s are right angles. And for triangle, so I'll draw a triangle here. Triangle, we have 3 angles. And that can be a right angle. If you see this one, I'll use a different color to show you a right angle. So here, this one is a right angle. So we have right angle, and when you see this angle, it's an acute angle, and when you see this angle, it's an obtuse angle. So in triangle we have 3 angles. It can be either right angle, or it can be an acute angle, or it can be an obtuse angle. So for example, I'll draw you another triangle here and I'll show you. So this one, a bigger one, you have a triangle here. So this one is an obtuse angle. Okay. So here you can write an answer. I'll write and show you how are the angles of triangles and rectangle different or similar. Okay. They are different and similar. So you can write all angles. I'll change the color to red, students. So all angles of rectangle are right angle, and for triangle it can be right, acute or obtuse. Okay. And next you can have a triangle has 3 angles, and rectangle we have 4 angles. Okay. Okay, I'll show the answer here maybe. Okay. So all angles of rectangle are right angles, and for triangle it can be right, acute or obtuse, and triangle have 3 angles and rectangle have 4 angles. So this one is exam question, students. They can ask you how many angles are there in rectangle, and can you write those angles, or how many angles in triangles you can write those, or they can give you a rectangle and they will ask you to mark the angles and write the number of angles. In either way they can ask you a question. Okay, now we will erase all these. So we will erase everything. Okay. So we will see how long. Oh, it's almost like 1 hour. I think we have completed page number 14. So it's like a very lengthy lesson, students. It's taking like more than an hour to complete few pages, because I need to explain you everything in detail so that you can able to easily understand. Okay, that's why it's taking little lengthy. So do watch the entire video, do not skip in between. So if you skip, it will be like very difficult for you to continue the chapter. Okay, so already we have 1 2 3 video is posted for the same chapter. You have to watch all the 3 videos, then only you can able to understand the video 4. If you come directly to video 4, you can no way able to relate the angles, you were no way able to relate these solid shapes and 3D shapes and their net is given in video 1. Okay, so do not directly come to video 4, watch 1, 2, third video and then come to fourth video. Okay, we have completed till page number 14. Now we have used the dotted grid given below to draw several 3 or 4 side shapes. Circle the shape that one have more than one angles. And what shape did you make? There are 4 slided shapes. So we have these, and again 5 side shape, equal sides, pentagon shape. So and we will complete this in our next video. We will see whether we can able to finish in one video or we will do part 5 and part 6. So once everything is completed, I will be sharing you a worksheet for practice. So those who need the worksheet, you have to join the channel. Subscribe the channel, you will see the videos. But once you join the channel only, I can able to send you the question papers, the worksheet for exams. So that will be very helpful when you practice more only in maths. It will be very easy. Maths is not like other subject. Maths needs more practice. If you just read, you cannot able to understand the concept. Only if you resolve problems, you try to find your own angles. If I give any images, you have to find out whether it's right angle, it's an acute angle or an obtuse angle. Then only you can able to resolve, and for your examination it will be very easy. Parents, again I'm telling you, if you need a worksheet, go ahead and join the channel. It's going to be really helpful for your students examination. Okay, so kindly join the channel. Those who have not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. So I'm going to close this video. Thank you for watching. Be very active during your class, students. When teacher writes in their board, the blackboard, please be very attentive. Okay, so take care. Bye bye. Drink more water and keep yourself hydrated. Eat healthy foods. Always obey your parents and teachers. That is very important. So thank you for watching. You all take care. I'm going to give you a big smiley to everyone, as I always do. I'm unable to draw. Let me draw a green smiley this time to say a bye bye. With a black eyes. Okay, so bye bye students. Take care and be safe. So we have done with page number 14. Okay, so next video we will start from page number 15.